Whichever way you choose to spin it, the 90s were a fantastic time for television, and the cream of the crop for horror fans in particular was Joss Whedon's weird and wonderful world of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because well, we don't like to talk about the 1992 movie. Thankfully for us though, Whedon took his initial fictional spark and went on to create 7 seasons of some of the darkest and most macabre content on television. For fans of Sunnydale, there is a colossal amount of mythology to dive through, but some of the series' best big bad monsters are the horrific hosts of demons that Buffy and the Scooby Gang had to battle. So, let's take a look, shall we? Hello horror fans and welcome back to the Scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. As per usual, I'm your host Jack Finch, as today we head on down to Sunnydale, California and take a look at the top 5 scariest Buffyverse demons. Roll the clip. Oh man, that intro gets me pumped every time. Just makes me want to go out and slay some zompires. The thing is though, on a brief note, Buffy was great because it taught us all that it was okay to be a little bit weird, and usually those same weird kids were actually too busy battling the forces of evil to actually care about who wore what at high school. It's an important life lesson, really. Thanks, Buffy. Kicking off at number 5, the Queller demon. First appearing in season 5 episode 9, Listening to Fear, the Queller demon was summoned by the unfortunate Ben Wilkinson, who himself was the possessed mortal prison of the hell goddess Glorificus. Yeah, one thing that you'll sense a continued theme of, there is a hell of a lot of possession covered throughout Buffy, in the most literal sense. The demonic manifestation of Glory was actually in the process of trying to maintain her own sanity and power by feeding off the mental energies of humans in a process known as brain sucking. Nice. And she needed some way to get rid of those suspicious human husks. Well, in fact, the Queller demon summoned to Sunnydale via meteorite was actually one of many in a demonic extraterrestrial species that specialized in feasting off of the insane. These demons were historically summoned to areas of hysteria, particularly in Europe during the Middle Ages, and would choke their victims with a gooey, alkaloid substance while feasting off of their mental distress. I don't know about you, but the majority of Listening to Fear are scenes of the Queller demon crawling across the ceiling with its freaky tapeworm-like mouth, and I'm kinda glad to see the end of it, to be honest. Swinging in at number 4, Eyghon. Everyone loves Rupert Giles, right? He's a warlock, he's fluent in Sumerian and ancient Greek, he's English. Wait a minute, nah, I'm just kidding. But while also being one of the most endearing characters in the entire series, we also learned that in the season 2 episode The Dark Age, that Giles was also ancestrally possessed by a demon known as Eyghon the Sleepwalker, an ancient force of incredible power that him and his buddies used to summon for a few cheap laughs way back in the 70s. Yeah, Buffy was great, right? Well, turns out that the joke quickly wasn't funny anymore, and Eyghon had actually taken permanent possession of one of Giles' pals, Randall, killing the poor guy in the process. What they failed to realise though is that demons have a harsh habit of holding a grudge, and Eyghon swore to enact revenge on the fledgling warlocks for messing with him. Flash forward several decades and Eyghon has actually managed to track down the last remaining member, Rupert Giles, after killing all of his friends in the process. The rest of the season follows with Giles being hunted by the demon wearing his dead friends' skin suits, and to be honest, it's pretty harrowing stuff. Next up at number 3, Gnarl.
Of a gift he is. Can't wait to unwrap it.
I hate this guy, and watching that clip you can see exactly why. Right? Well, thankfully for us, Gnarl only managed to make one on-screen appearance during the 7 seasons in the 7th season episode, same time, same place, and to be honest, that's one time too many. While also being a throwback to Gollum, Gnarl was a demon that dwelled underneath Sunnydale, feasting on the skin of unwitting graffiti-tagging teenagers. He's a parasitic creature with long, paralysing, poison-secreting fingernails that he jabs his victims with while slowly stripping off their skin until he fully consumes them. Not cool, dude. What made Gnarl even worse though was his sadistic childlike persona, who would often speak in nursery rhyming couplets referring to his victims as lovely sealed gifts that he couldn't wait to unwrap. Nah, I'm not having it, man. Gnarl was messed up, and thankfully Buffy killed him by gouging his eyes out. Good job, Slayer. Coming in at number 2, the Kindestod. Perhaps one of the most nightmare-inducing creatures in the whole of the Slayer series is the demonically twisted version of Freddy Krueger, the Kindestod. Yeah, as if Freddy can get any scarier. The Kindestod, which in German literally translates to the child death, was a demon who was invisible to everyone except those that were feverishly ill. Particularly though children. Making his first and thankfully only appearance in the season 2 episode Killed by Death, this guy would sneak into hospitals at night to murder sick kids and then suck the life out of them. What made this episode so much more terrifying though is that Kindestod's particular technique meant that when his victims' bodies were found, it looked as though they'd been killed by their illness, and thus no one was ever held accountable. As if that's not horrific enough, this guy also wore a trilby. Come on, dude. Well, his reign was short-lived though when he decided to pick on Celia, the wrong 8-year-old cousin of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who later remembered him from a childhood after contracting a severe case of the flu and being rushed to hospital. Buffy purposefully made herself ill so that Kindestod would be lured to her, and then she broke his neck in front of a ward full of sick children. Damn straight. And finally, at number 1 spot, the gentleman. And I want absolutely nothing to do with these guys. I hate them, and I hate their stupid little song. By far the most horrific, nightmare-inducing creations that the Buffyverse have ever spat forward, and the main reason being, well, I don't really know why. The gentlemen play on a strange, inexplicable fear that they're just not right. They shouldn't be. They're not meant to be, even as far as how they move isn't right. Forget walking, these guys float. Forget talking, these guys pull a creepy smile and politely nod at each other. And we haven't even started on their origin story. The gentlemen were said to have originated from fairy tales who roamed from town to town seeking out the 7 human hearts that they required to stay alive. They would steal their victims' voices so that they couldn't scream while they extracted their beating hearts with scalpels. Legit, their first appearance in the season 4 episode Hush is perhaps one of the best Buffy episodes ever. It's just a straight up horror show with a creative, innovative twist on fear. But seriously, forget the gentlemen. They're too much, man. I hate them. Well, thankfully folks, that's all we've got time for in today's video. Why don't you let us know your thoughts about the Buffyverse in the comment section down below. Before we depart, let's read out some of your more creative comments from over the past few days. Scooter the Mighty Minion, which is a fantastic name, may I add, Scooter, says, "Thank you for what you guys do. I love the humour that softens the mind-maddening horror that you warn us of. I always look forward to every new video." Oh, Scooter, you're gonna make me tear up, buddy. That's one hell of an accolade, and I think I may even add that to my horror resume. Well, on that wholesome note, just sticking around all the way until the end. If you're a fan of this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, as well as that subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. As per usual, I've been your horror host, Jack Finch. You've been watching Top 5 Scary videos. Until next time, you take it easy.